Hi guys, Mike DeSimone here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a baked French toast casserole. This is traditionally a breakfast recipe, but I'm sure after you try it, you'll be more than happy to make it any time of the day. Let's go over the tools and the ingredients needed to make the recipe. We'll start with a 9x13 baking pan. You'll need a spatula, a whisk, some measuring spoons, measuring cups. As far as the ingredients, we will start with a baguette, which you will slice into 1-inch pieces, and you should be able to get about 18 or 20 of those, and that should be enough to fill the pan. You'll also need 8 large eggs, and you will need cooking spray, granulated sugar, light brown sugar, corn syrup, vanilla extract, cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, glazed pecans, 2 cups of half and half, and 1 cup of milk. And over here we're going to begin to mix our recipe for the batter into the mixing bowl. I have the 8 large eggs, which I have pre-mixed, pre-scrambled for ease, and then I have to add the rest of the ingredients into it. We're going to start by adding 2 cups of half and half into the mixture. That in there, and we will add 1 cup of milk. That in there. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. We're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. We're going to need a dash of salt, which is basically just a pinch in your fingers and toss it into there. And we're going to whisk these items together because this is going to be important when we pour it over the baguette here shortly. Give me a moment to mix this up. Okay, it's looking good. Now we will take our cooking spray and we're going to line the baking pan so that this doesn't stick during the baking process. So I'm going to step back here for a second. I'm going to spray this pan here to make sure this doesn't stick. That's good. And now we're going to take the baguette and we're going to line them in the pan in a sort of toppled domino fashion. And what I mean is we're going to lay them down like this and lean them up against each other. That way there, when the batter is poured over them, it'll flow evenly and they'll cook better that way. So let's line these up in here. Now, a little history on French toast. It has roots that go back as far as the Roman Empire. But the actual name French toast only goes back to the 17th century England. They still make this dish today in France, except it is called pain perdu, and that translates in English to the bread that is lost in the batter. And the Spanish also have a recipe for this. It is a fried dessert, and that dish is called torrijas, I believe if I pronounced that correctly, and that's a very delicious dish as well. Okay, now that I have the bread into the pan here, I'm going to give our mixture one more stir. Make sure we get everything mixed up here. Just whisk. We're going to begin to pour this mixture over the bread. Now, we want to get it pretty well soaked, so you just go slowly. You don't want to pour it all at once because you want to make sure that you are actually covering as much of the territory as possible. So we'll go slow here. And this will all absorb into the bread. Okay, we're going to go back up and down each row. The better you do this, the better it will come out in the end. Let's take some moment here. go done here. Now at this point, when you're done adding this mix to the bread, we want to cover this with tin foil and put it in the refrigerator overnight. And the reason that we do that is that it gives the baguette enough time to thoroughly absorb the batter. I'm going to cover this up here. Make sure it's sealed pretty good. And we will put this into the refrigerator overnight. And tomorrow we will begin to make the topping and get ready to put this in the oven. Welcome back, guys. Tonight we're going to begin by setting our oven at 350 degrees so that we can prepare to bake our French toast. So we have that set. Let's get our dish out of the fridge. I'm sure it's chilled overnight by now, so the batter has been quite absorbed by the bread. Okay, let's take a look at that. It looks very good. The texture's really good. It's all been absorbed into the bread. Let's begin by making our topping, which is a praline topping. We're going to use the ingredients that we have already pulled. I've pre-measured them for ease of time, but I've added one other thing. I'm going to add 2 sticks of butter. So this praline topping consists of the 2 sticks of butter, 1 cup of packed brown sugar, a half a cup of crushed or ground pecans. We have 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, and we have a half a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. So at this point I'm going to start adding these ingredients into the bowl. So let me take my sticks of butter, peel them off, put those in there. There. And it's better, of course, if the butter is soft, easier to mix, but not liquefied, because then the texture will change. We're going to add our brown sugar. Okay, that's good. In there. We're going to add our crushed pecans to the mix. Good. And our corn syrup. Takes a minute to come out. Okay. There, we're going to add our ground cinnamon and our ground nutmeg. Now we're going to use our spatula from earlier. We're going to mix these ingredients together so that we can create the topping. So we have to sort of mash them together. So it takes a moment to get a good consistency. It's better to mix these very well so that you can spread it over the top evenly. Mix going here. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so you can see the consistency of this. It's more like a spreadable batter or peanut butter type of consistency. That's what you're looking for. So we have the French toast bake that has been absorbing overnight, and it's the texture being cold gives it some like a solid state so that it can support what we're about to spread onto it. So let's take this and spread it across. It's going to take a few minutes here. Let's put this on. These pieces covered so that when it bakes it will spread out. Of course, the colder that this bread and the mixture is, the easier it will be to spread the praline topping over it. I think we spread just about as much as we can here, but we'll use the rest of it. Okay. Now, with our oven, it's already preset to 350 degrees. We're going to take the tray and place it into the oven for 40 minutes and wait for it to cook. You set your kitchen timer, 40 minutes, and we wait. Welcome back, guys. We are waiting for our kitchen timer, which is almost up, and this bake should be done, and we're going to pull it out of the oven. And there's our timer. Let's shut that off. We'll put our gloves on here, and we will pull out the bake and see what we have. And voila, see what we have. Let's put this over there. And 40 minutes, it's done perfectly. And you can serve this with maple syrup, whipped cream if you choose, and your favorite fruit. Enjoy.